Welcome back to EdZ, your personal AI tutor for CBSE students. Today we are revising Class 10 Science Chapter 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. This is an extended episode, so we will spend roughly 30-40 minutes together, calmly and without rushing. I am Gaurav, your concept anchor, and with me is Swati, our curious exam coach. Keep a notebook nearby if you can, but passive listening is also completely fine. A student from Pune, Arav, once told us he memorized equations but could not explain what they meant. By the end, we will make that confusion much smaller through concepts, questions, examples, and exam tips.
Exactly. We will begin with how to recognize a chemical reaction, then move to word equations, symbolic equations, and balancing. After that, we will distinguish combination, decomposition, displacement, and double displacement reactions. We will also connect exothermic and endothermic changes with familiar situations, understand oxidation and reduction, and finish with corrosion and rancidity. Keep asking yourself not only what is the answer, but also what observation or reasoning supports it.
Let us start with the chapter hook. Think about milk left at room temperature in summer, an iron nail in humid air, grapes getting fermented, food being cooked, food being digested, and respiration. In each situation, the nature and identity of the initial substance change to some extent. Whenever a chemical change occurs, we say that a chemical reaction has taken place.
एक सेकंड पॉज करके सोचो. Sorry, let me put that in English. Take a short moment and think. Which of those situations gives the clearest evidence of a new substance being formed? There can be more than one reasonable observation. But in an examination, we must use the indicators given in the chapter rather than relying on a vague feeling that something changed.
The chapter gives 4 useful observations: change in state, change in color, evolution of a gas, and change in temperature. These observations help us determine that a chemical reaction may have taken place. Notice the word may in our reasoning. We should describe the actual observation and then connect it to the reaction rather than merely naming an indicator without explanation.
The activities make these indicators visible. When magnesium ribbon burns, it shows a dazzling white flame and changes into a white powder. When zinc reacts with dilute acid, gas bubbles are observed and the temperature can change. When lead nitrate solution is mixed with potassium iodide solution, a precipitate is formed. Different reactions can therefore reveal themselves in different ways.
A safety point is also part of responsible science. Burning magnesium requires teacher assistance and suitable eye protection. Acids must be handled carefully, and testing gases with a flame in the electrolysis activity must be performed carefully by the teacher. In an answer, safety may not be the main marking point, but in a laboratory activity, it is essential.
Quick check. If a reaction produces bubbles, what indicator are you writing? Evolution of a gas. If the mixture becomes warm, what are you noticing? A change in temperature. If a solid appears from two solutions, what is that solid called? A precipitate. Do not answer aloud immediately. Give yourself a few seconds first.
So the first major idea is simple but important. A chemical reaction changes the nature and identity of reactants and forms products. The evidence can include state change, color change, gas evolution, or temperature change. अब तक हम first major idea cover कर चुके हैं. Now we will represent that change in a compact chemical language.
Let us use the magnesium activity. The sentence magnesium burns in oxygen and gets converted to magnesium oxide is correct, but it is long. The chapter first shortens it into a word equation. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. This is not just a sentence. It shows the direction of the reaction with the arrow.
The substances that undergo chemical change are called reactants, and the new substance formed is called the product. Reactants are written on the left-hand side, or LHS, and products on the right-hand side, or RHS. A plus sign separates multiple reactants or multiple products. The arrow points towards the products and shows the direction of the reaction.
Now replace names with formulae. Magnesium plus oxygen becomes Mg plus O2 gives MgO. This is more concise, but there is a problem. The number of oxygen atoms is not equal on both sides. One oxygen molecule has two oxygen atoms on the left, while MgO has only one oxygen atom on the right.
The first symbolic form is called a skeletal chemical equation because it represents the reaction but is not balanced. A chemical equation is balanced when the number of atoms of every element is the same on the LHS and RHS. The formulae tell us the substances, the coefficients tell us how many units participate.
A common confusion appears here. Students sometimes change the small number inside a formula to balance an equation. That changes the substance itself. For example, changing water into a different formula is not balancing. It is inventing another substance. We balance only by placing suitable whole number coefficients before formulae.
The law behind balancing is the law of conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. In terms of atoms, atoms of each element remain the same before and after the reaction. Bonds may break and form, but the atoms do not disappear or appear from nowhere.
Try this recall question. In the equation for zinc with sulfuric acid, identify the reactants and products. The reactants are zinc and sulfuric acid. The products are zinc sulfate and hydrogen. The equation is Zn plus H2SO. 4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2, and the atom counts are already equal on both sides.
Let us slow this down and balance the more instructive equation. Fe plus H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. First, keep every formula unchanged. Next, list the number of atoms of iron, hydrogen and oxygen on both sides. Initially, iron is 1 versus 3, hydrogen is 2 versus 2, and oxygen is 1 versus 4.
Which element should we consider first? The chapter suggests looking at the compound containing the maximum number of atoms and then selecting the element with the maximum number in it. That leads us to Fe3O4 and oxygen. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the product side. So we place coefficient 4 before H2O on the reactant side.
The partly balanced equation is Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. Now hydrogen has become 8 on the left, because 4 water molecules contain 8 hydrogen atoms. To match it, place coefficient 4 before H2 on the right. We now have Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2.
Only iron remains unbalanced. Fe3O4 contains 3 iron atoms, so place coefficient 3 before Fe. The final equation is 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now count again. Instead of trusting the appearance, iron is 3 on both sides, oxygen is 4 on both sides, and hydrogen is 8 on both sides.
This method is called the hit and trial method because we make trials using the smallest whole number coefficients. The exam point is not merely to write a plausible equation. You must verify every element. A balanced equation is one where the atom count matches element by element, not just where the coefficients look neat.
Here is the most important balancing warning. Never alter a chemical formula while balancing. Coefficients change the number of particles, subscripts change the identity and composition of the substance. If you remember just one rule from this section, remember this distinction. It prevents one of the most common errors in class 10 equations.
Mini recap. Begin with the skeletal equation, count atoms, choose an efficient element, place coefficients, continue until every element matches, and finally check the entire equation. Do not stop after balancing one element. If you're revising with EDSI, this is a useful point to test yourself by hiding the final coefficients and reconstructing them from the atom counts.
A complete chemical equation can also mention physical states. The symbols are solid, liquid, aqueous, and gas. Aqueous means the substance is present as a solution in water. These symbols make an equation more informative, especially when the state helps explain a precipitate, a gas, or the form in which a reactant is used.
For the balanced iron and steam reaction, The informative form is 3FeS plus 4H2. OG gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2Ug. The gas symbol for water is important here because water is used as steam. Usually, state symbols are not included unless they are necessary to specify the reaction clearly.
Conditions may also be written above or below the arrow. The chapter gives examples involving temperature, pressure, a catalyst, sunlight, and chlorophyll. So while reading an equation, look at more than the substances on the two sides. The arrow can carry information about the condition needed for the reaction.
Suppose an exam asks for a balanced equation with state symbols. Your workflow should be first translate the words into formulae, then balance using coefficients, then attach the correct states, and finally check atoms. Do not attach state symbols first and forget the balancing step. Both parts are assessed separately in the answer.
Quick listener check. What does UG tell you? It tells you that the substance is present as a solution in water. What does the arrow tell you? It shows the direction of the reaction. What does a coefficient do? It changes the number of particles represented without changing the formula of the substance.
We are entering the first reaction classification. In a combination reaction, two or more substances combine to form a single product. A clear example is calcium oxide reacting with water to form calcium hydroxide. CaO plus H2O gives CaOH2 with heat released.
The key pattern is two or more reactants and one product. Calcium oxide is also called quicklime, and calcium hydroxide is called slaked lime. The activity asks students to feel the temperature change in the beaker, but that should be done carefully. The important observation is that the mixture becomes warm because heat is released.
Other combination examples in the chapter include carbon burning in oxygen to form carbon dioxide, and hydrogen reacting with oxygen to form water. When you classify an equation, first count the products. Do not classify only by looking at whether the reactants are elements. The number and nature of products provide the central clue.
Now connect combination with exothermic change. A reaction in which heat is released along with the products is called exothermic. Calcium oxide with water is one example. Burning natural gas and respiration are also described as exothermic in the chapter. Respiration provides energy when glucose combines with oxygen in the cells of the body.
The respiration equation given is glucose plus oxygen producing carbon dioxide, water, and energy. The chapter explains that carbohydrates in foods such as rice, potatoes, and bread are broken down to form glucose. That glucose combines with oxygen and provides energy. This is why respiration is considered exothermic. Energy is released during the process.
A subtle exam question asks you to identify the type of reaction in magnesium burning. It forms one product, magnesium oxide, and heat is given out. So it can be described both as a combination reaction and as an exothermic reaction. These names focus on different features: product, pattern in one case, energy change in the other.
The chapter also connects chemistry with whitewashing. Slaked lime reacts slowly with carbon dioxide in air to form calcium carbonate and water. A thin layer of calcium carbonate forms on the walls after 2 to 3 days and gives a shiny finish. The formula for marble is also CaCO3, another useful recall point from the chapter.
Let us test the pattern. If several reactants produce one product, what classification comes first? Combination. If heat is released, what energy classification may also apply? Exothermic. A single reaction can therefore be discussed using more than one classification, provided you clearly state the features supporting each classification.
Decomposition is the opposite pattern of combination. Here, one reactant breaks down into two or more simpler products. The chapter describes ferrous sulfate crystals on heating. Their green color changes, and a characteristic odor of burning sulfur may be noticed. The reaction produces ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide.
A useful detail is that ferrous sulfate crystals first lose water on heating because the crystals contain water. Then the substance decomposes. This explains why the observation includes a color change and why the equation shows more than one product. Read the observation and equation together. Neither should be memorized in isolation.
When decomposition is carried out by heating, it is called thermal decomposition. Calcium carbonate on heating gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is quicklime and is used in the manufacture of cement. Lead nitrate on heating produces lead oxide, brown nitrogen dioxide fumes, and oxygen.
Decomposition can also be caused by light or electricity. Silver chloride turns gray in sunlight because it decomposes into silver and chlorine. Silver bromide behaves similarly, and these reactions are used in black and white photography. In electrolysis of water, electrical energy causes decomposition and gases collect at the two electrodes.
The chapter asks why the volumes of gas collected in the two test tubes during electrolysis are different. The answer should be connected to the decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen and the relative amounts represented in its balanced equation. The gas collected in greater amount is hydrogen. Write the reasoning, not only the gas name.
Now connect energy. Decomposition reactions require energy in the form of heat, light, or electricity to break down the reactants. Reactions in which energy is absorbed are called endothermic reactions. So, thermal decomposition and electrolysis help you see why a reaction may be classified by both its substance pattern and its energy requirement.
Mini recap. Combination means many reactants forming one product. Decomposition means one reactant forming many products. Thermal decomposition uses heat. Photochemical decomposition uses light. And electrolytic decomposition uses electricity. Do not confuse decomposition with endothermic. One describes the reaction pattern, while the other describes energy absorption.
If you have a specific doubt about why an equation is called thermal, light driven, or electrolytic decomposition, EDSI can work through that exact doubt step by step. But before checking an explanation, try active recall, cover the answer, identify the energy source yourself, and then compare your reasoning.
Next is displacement. In a displacement reaction, one element displaces or removes another element from its compound. In the activity, clean iron nails are placed in copper sulfate solution. The iron nail becomes brownish and the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades because iron forms iron sulfate and copper is displaced.
The equation is Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. The observation and equation support each other. Iron enters the compound and copper comes out as a separate substance. Zinc and lead can also displace copper from its compounds in the examples given. The chapter states that zinc and lead are more reactive than copper.
A common classification error is to call this double displacement because two compounds appear in the equation. That is not the correct test. In displacement, an element replaces another element in a compound. Look for the pattern element plus compound gives compound plus element. Iron plus copper sulfate fits that pattern.
Your turn. In zinc plus copper sulfate gives zinc sulfate plus copper. Which element is displaced? Copper. Which element performs the displacement? Zinc. Which evidence would you expect from the reaction? A change involving the solution and the appearance of copper as represented in the chapter's example.
Double displacement has a different pattern. Two compounds exchange ions or groups of atoms. When sodium sulfate solution is mixed with barium chloride solution, barium sulfate and sodium chloride are formed. The white, insoluble barium sulfate is called a precipitate, while sodium chloride remains in solution.
The balanced equation is Na2SO4 aqueous plus BaCl2 aqueous gives BaSO4 solid plus 2NaCl aqueous. Notice how the state symbols help us recognize the precipitate. A reaction producing an insoluble salt is also called a precipitation reaction. Therefore, this example can be described as both double displacement and precipitation.
The underlying idea is exchange of ions. Barium combines with sulfate to form barium sulfate, and sodium combines with chloride to form sodium chloride. In an answer, define double displacement first, then write the equation, then identify the white insoluble product if the question asks about observation.
The earlier activity mixing lead nitrate and potassium iodide also asks you to identify the color and compound of the precipitate and decide whether it is a double displacement reaction. The safe reasoning is to look for exchange between the ions of the two reactants and the formation of an insoluble product. Do not guess from color alone.
Let us compare the two patterns clearly. Displacement is element plus compound giving compound plus element. Double displacement is compound plus compound giving compound plus compound. With ions exchanged, a precipitate may appear in double displacement. But the defining feature is the exchange. This comparison is commonly tested in short answer questions.
Quick check. If two solutions produce a white insoluble solid, what word should immediately come to mind? Precipitate. If the reactants exchange ions, what reaction type is it? Double displacement. If an element removes another element from its compound, what type is it? Displacement. Keep these triggers separate.
Now we reach oxidation and reduction. When oxygen is added to a substance, it is oxidized. When oxygen is removed, it is reduced. The chapter also gives the related hydrogen idea. Gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen is oxidation, while loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen is reduction.
Consider heated copper powder. Its surface becomes coated with black copper oxide because oxygen is added to copper. The equation is 2Cu plus O2 gives 2CuO. Here, copper is oxidized. This is a good example where the color observation helps you connect the laboratory activity with the definition.
Now pass hydrogen over heated copper oxide. The black coating turns brown and copper is obtained. Copper oxide loses oxygen, so it is reduced. Hydrogen gains oxygen and forms water, so hydrogen is oxidized. Since oxidation and reduction happen together, the reaction is called an oxidation reduction or redox reaction.
This is a place where students often reverse the labels. Ask two separate questions. Who gains oxygen and who loses oxygen? The substance gaining oxygen is oxidized. The substance losing oxygen is reduced. In the copper oxide and hydrogen reaction, hydrogen is oxidized and copper oxide is reduced.
The chapter also describes redox examples involving zinc oxide and carbon, and manganese dioxide with hydrochloric acid. For class 10 answers, the reliable method is to identify the gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen in the given equation. Then name the oxidized and reduced substances explicitly.
Try 1 in 2Pb. O plus C gives 2Pb plus CO2. Which substance is reduced? Lead oxide loses oxygen and becomes lead, so lead oxide is reduced. Which substance is oxidized? Carbon gains oxygen and becomes carbon dioxide, so carbon is oxidized. This reasoning also helps reject incorrect multiple choice options.
Another recall question. In magnesium burning in oxygen, is magnesium oxidized or reduced? Magnesium gains oxygen to form magnesium oxide, so magnesium is oxidized. The key phrase to write is magnesium gains oxygen. A short definition supported by the equation is stronger than a bare label.
We have now covered the four main reaction patterns and the energy and oxygen-based descriptions. Notice that one equation can carry multiple ideas. Magnesium burning is combination, exothermic, and oxidation. A decomposition reaction can also be endothermic. Always state the basis of your classification so the examiner can see your reasoning.
We are entering the final content section now. Effects of oxidation in everyday life. Corrosion is a process in which a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture or acids. Rusting of iron produces a reddish-brown coating. Silver can develop a black coating, and copper can develop a green coating.
Corrosion is not merely a change in appearance. The chapter explains that it damages car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and other metal objects, especially those made of iron. This is why questions may ask why paint is applied to iron articles. Your answer should connect painting with protecting the metal from substances in its surroundings.
Rancidity relates to fats and oils. When fats and oils are oxidized, the food becomes rancid and its smell and taste change. Antioxidants are added to slow oxidation. Airtight containers also slow oxidation. And chips manufacturers flush packets with nitrogen to help prevent oxidation of the food.
Compare the two applications. Corrosion affects metals, rancidity affects fats and oils in food. Both involve oxidation. But the consequence and prevention described in the chapter are different. For corrosion, protection of metal is the focus. For rancidity, limiting contact with oxygen and using antioxidants are the important ideas.
A strong 3-mark answer should define the term, give the relevant example, and explain the effect or prevention. For corrosion, mention the attack on a metal and an example such as rusting. For rancidity, mention oxidation of fats and oils and the resulting change in smell and taste. Keep the answer connected to the question.
Let us begin a structured recap. A chemical reaction changes the nature and identity of substances. Indicators include state change, color change, gas evolution, and temperature change. Reactants are on the LHS, products on the RHS, and the arrow shows direction. A skeletal equation must be balanced using coefficients.
For balancing, use conservation of mass. Count each element on both sides, choose coefficients, never change subscripts, and verify the final equation. Add state symbols when required: solid, liquid, aqueous, and gas. Conditions such as heat or sunlight may be shown around the arrow. These are compact but high-value exam points.
Reaction types in one line each. Combination gives one product from two or more reactants. Decomposition gives two or more products from one reactant. Displacement involves one element replacing another. Double displacement involves exchange of ions. Precipitation is identified when an insoluble salt forms. Exothermic reactions release heat, while endothermic reactions absorb energy.
Oxidation means gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. Reduction means loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. They occur together in a redox reaction. The most common mistake is reversing these two definitions. Use the oxygen or hydrogen change in the equation as your evidence, and do not depend only on memory.
Final challenge. Without looking at your notes, explain why magnesium burning can be called a combination reaction, an exothermic reaction, and an oxidation reaction. Then, balance the skeletal magnesium equation. If you can justify all three labels and write the coefficient correctly, you have understood the concept rather than simply memorize a line.
That brings us to the end. Remember the central chain. Substances change to form products. Equations represent that change. Balancing preserves the number of atoms. Reaction patterns help classify equations. Energy changes explain exothermic and endothermic reactions. Oxygen or hydrogen changes reveal redox behavior. And oxidation has everyday effects such as corrosion and rancidity. Your next step is small. Write and balance 3 equations from the chapter. Then label each by reaction type. If a doubt remains, use Etsy for a step-by-step explanation rather than guessing. Thank you for revising with us, and keep learning with clarity and confidence.